Down to Earth Network with your host Sean Myrie. We
Mm-hmm.
got, D2E fam, Stoner P, the most stoner
One and only, you dig?
in the universe, the highest stoner in the universe, yo. Yo, you know what? I
Yo.
should ask you because this is news. 420 just passed in Toronto and Canada is all
Mm-hmm.
legal. How was like the feedback? Like, was it good? Did it bring it back that feeling of celebrate?
I'm gonna tell you one thing. This year, cause yo, every year since legalization, bro,
Mm,
I went to an event.
mm-hmm.
Okay, I went to an event, but this year, I really felt like it was all a money grab.
But you're gonna feel that.
You know what I mean?
It's like
Like there's
Caravana.
no passion for it, bro. You don't see how it used to be. You know what I mean? Where people, at Young and Dundas or you know Trinity Park or like a bunch of them. You know what I mean? The love and the passion. Everybody now wants to just sell their thing,
Corporations
make a
took over.
money.
The corporation kind of really took, like they already had it, but took over more than ever. That's like how Caravana was. You remember? People were
Mm-hmm.
more cultural stuff, and then it went to like
Yeah, of course.
corporate.
Believe it or not, Caravana, the people behind it had to fund themselves for a while.
Yeah,
The city didn't give them that much, eh?
yeah, at first, but now they
At
give them a
first,
lot.
and now because Scotiabank or whatever is endorsing it now, it's government, right?
Yeah,
Government owns that shit. It's not like where the community comes together and make it happen,
but
right?
420 for us is every day. 420 for us is every
Yeah,
day.
like like 420 is every day for us. Like we're weed smokers, right? But
Mm,
it's just like you have to pay for one to go into an event, right? To chill, lounge, whatever, just to smoke your weed. I can do that shit outside,
that's true.
right? I get it. I get it.
That's
I get it. To buy, to support the local people. Them, I get
mm,
it. But there should be more given than more spending. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. There was deals upon deals, but nah, bro. I like it's not the same, bro. It's not the same. I don't think I'm gonna go to a. I don't know. I don't. Know. I have to do my own, right?
I want to ask you other news. What's the biggest news you've been seeing? Bless up, Brittany. What's the biggest news you've been seeing on social media
Yo, honestly,
and
the biggest.
interested in?
Well, there's a few. There's a few, right? The Shannon
Bless up,
Sharp. The Shannon
Shannon
Sharp.
Sharp. Bless up, Sino
Allegations, the rape
Edits.
allegation. That's a big one. I was taking that in. I'm like, yo, this girl's trying to do the man dirty. Like,
But we're finding out more stuff. Like it's kind of like a setup. Like some people want to give a benefit of a doubt, but it seems like it's kind of like a setup because they're saying that she slept with him 100 times, and he's claiming, or some other person claiming it was rough sex and stuff like that. This is something that he was
is
into
it?
and
But
shit
is
like
it the
that.
girl that was on live? That
Mm.
remember when he went live?
Yeah,
Is it the same girl?
that's what I'm wondering too. He was
Right?
talking about her on his podcast too. They're saying him and his other guy. He has another one called I think the Late Cap or something like that. He was speaking with other football player who he does a podcast with. I forgot his name. Ocho Cinco. I don't know his real
Yeah,
name,
yeah.
but there he was talking about her. So the only thing was disturbing to me, and I know she's illegal, right? But that he's 54 and she's like 19, 20, barely like 20 years
Man,
old.
like I don't know. Like I guess those older men, you know what I mean, that like to date younger women make them feel young, right?
Yeah,
I get it, but like that's borderline, bro. That's
yeah.
you're
It's
pushing
fifth.
it.
It makes me wonder: are you into, like, you could be into younger ladies, but she's very young. It's not like it's like a
Hmm.
40-year-old. He's like 50. That he would still be 15 years almost older, even if the lady was 40, because he's 54.
Exactly.
It's not even like a
So
40-year-old or a 35-year-old. He went all the way, right?
at the end of the day, like if the girl, if the girl's, trying to get a bag from him, right? Like try. You know what I mean? But if he knows that he's fucked in this situation, which
Mm.
yo clearly kind of seems like it. So
But even
like,
if he wins, if he was to win this, right, it
mm,
still would smear his career. It's still something in there. Like you just threw the person just threw something in there. Like you get what I mean? Even if people are always gonna question him. They're
well,
gonna
think about
question
it
him.
like this. Lately, every every black man's success, okay,
Hmm.
in the industry, entertainment, right?
Yeah,
They're all trying to crumble everybody down. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
It's it's like okay, yeah, Shannon Sharp has probably the top one of the top five fucking podcasts,
yeah.
right?
All
So
the yep,
yo,
success.
they're gonna try to poke him and try to suck him
You
positive. You know
said
what
it
I
right.
mean?
You said
You
it
know what I
right
mean,
because he
G?
has one of the
So
most successful podcasts now. If he wasn't as successful, if he wasn't
I
out
wouldn't
there
be
as
surprised
much,
Gillian Wallow. I wouldn't be $1 million worth of fame will come get next, bro. Like you know what I mean? It's you don't see it in Canada for
no,
one. Let me put that
yeah,
shit straight.
no.
That US whatever US thinks, bro,
Mm.
they think fucking fucked up and shicey, and they're just all about yo backstabbing somebody just to get a bag. You
So
don't get
yo,
any bag, bro. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like why though?
that's the American way, I guess. You know.
And then look at Terrence Howard's situation now
Yep.
with Diddy.
Hmm.
Like the man's coming out for his head top. Like
But they're saying he's looking crazy. Like they make him look crazy, right? Terrence Howard,
mhm. But yeah,
right?
like yo, he did look crazy when he was saying all that shit. Like yo, if you're a man, all that
It's
all the
because
man.
see, that's what was see, you got it, you got caught with it. Because
Mm,
he's saying all that stuff and certain people won't understand, when
mm,
he talks about anything else, he'll look crazy. Don't you see how it's the play is, if they call it the play? Because he's
yep,
talking all this science stuff, anything else he does will look crazy. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you
it's
don't
no, it's
understand what
true.
he's saying, the rest of the stuff what he's gonna whatever he says, like about Puffy or anything, no one's gonna take it
90
serious because
90% 90% of the fucking people in the world will probably think he's crazy, right?
if they don't understand me, I kind
If
of
they
understand what
don't
he's trying to say.
understand the fine fucking sayings the bold statements that he's trying to say,
Yeah, I
right?
understand what he's. I'm understanding what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who doesn't understand certain things are gonna just say crazy, but I see what he's saying. Right? I'm not saying I agree, but he's basically challenging the system, what they put out there for us to learn, because certain things did make
Exactly.
sense what he was saying. If
Yeah,
you don't,
of course.
you, but other than him, what's the
Yeah.
right now? What do you think about the politics with this no jumper Adam 22? I've been talking about him for a
Uh,
while, yo.
now, is he going broke?
No, that's a lie, man. You
He
know that's
can't
a
go
lie.
broke, man. Can't go. But he might
Bless.
be a hip hop police though.
I was saying hip hop police. Oh, okay. Correct me if I'm wrong. You know this, Stoner P. Bless up, Big Chill.
Mm,
What do you? We've been talking about hip hop police for years, haven't we?
yeah.
We've been talking about it. We've been talking. We've seen things like what people accuse Adam and others to do.
Mm-hmm.
Explain
Mm-hmm.
to the people what hip hop police besides me is.
Yo, hip hop police is designed for to take down major record labels for
And
one
more.
and more, right? Um, Pretty much, yeah. Anything that you have on you that dirt wise, they're coming. They're
And
all up
who do they
in that
use?
shit.
They use some people you in the
They
public eye you're
use
not thinking
they
of.
use producers. They use they'll create a fucking artist
Yep,
that's popping,
yep,
right, and make them turn.
mm-hmm,
You see that in a lot of cases.
yep, yep.
Um, yo, the podcasters, bro.
That's perfect. They found a perfect place to do it. And I'm gonna tell people out there, even in Hollywood, they had a Hollywood police. One guy named Steven Seagal.
Mm-hmm.
You remember
Mm-hmm.
Steven Seagal? I don't know if people found out about Steven Seagal later, but he was actually a police officer. He had a short time period,
Yeah, I know, I know, I know that.
a show of him being a police, but he
Yeah.
was actually, he was in a case against the mafia,
Yeah.
years ago for extorting, trying to extort Hollywood or something like that, or him, right?
And pimping and shit too. Like,
Yeah. So he took that, he to help take whatever some people down. He went to court against people,
mm-hmm.
and this
Oh
is
yeah.
Hollywood. So he was Hollywood police. No one knew about him, right? So is Shaq still? Shaq
So
may be in
yo,
the NBA.
speaking
You're
of
right.
Shaq,
Shaq is a police too.
speaking of Shaq, yo,
Mm.
the man almost pooped them drawers on broadcast, live broadcast. Eh?
What did he do?
He almost pooped his drawers, bro. He almost
Oh,
shit
Lee.
himself, bro.
What?
On that live, bro. The
Shaq
man was running. The man
eating
was
too
running
much.
from dear life, bro.
Eating too much, man.
Yo, and then Charles Barkley,
Yeah.
the man done put the fucking toilet potty right
Mm.
beside where the fucking man sits the next day because too much Five Guys, bro. So
Yeah.
you own Five Guys, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He
Yeah,
has
you
his
own the
podcast. He
burger
sits
joint.
down and eats and eats and eats. But back to the hip
Mm,
hop police. The hip hop police are people who are even in the industry, and some of them are actual police who work with the industry
yeah,
people
of
to get
course.
inside, right?
Some of them could be your security guard.
Yes, there's been. Yes.
You
Look,
know what I mean?
Suge Knight back in the day, remember? He had people working
Exactly.
for him. They were
Exactly.
police. So
The
they seen a
police.
lot of shit. Even in a lot of others, you're right, security guards. Security
Mm-hmm.
guards is a big thing. And look who's talking the most now. I'm not saying he's hip hop police, but he's working like it. Gene Deal. How
Yeah.
much stories he told about
Yeah.
what was going on with Puffy and stuff like that.
Of course.
It, there's always these ex security talking, and when they talk, guess who's hearing? There's someone listening, like the feds and shit like that.
Perfect example. Young Thug's case.
Mm-hmm.
They had the fucking undercover in the in the whole Rico case.
Yes.
When
See?
they pulled down his mask and everything, they told him to pull down his mask right in court to see his face.
Shit.
You know what I mean? I followed that shit too. I was
And
like,
yo,
yo,
check this. I heard it and we said it. When the feds come for you, they make sure everything is sealed. They don't go for you without making sure. They don't want to look embarrassed. I said this
of
earlier.
course,
They don't
of
want to look
course.
embarrassed.
Cause yo, you're not just dealing with local police. You're dealing with DEA, FBI.
Yes. And they're looking on the net. They get access to all the stuff. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I dropped this gem today. All these platforms, American platforms, is controlled by the what's called federal government. Because, for example, Instagram, when we
Mm-hmm.
post weed, for example, or stuff, the
Mm-hmm.
reason they flag it because what comes up, their guidelines. I mean, in their guidelines, don't they say it's
Mm-hmm.
federal? Like they put that
Yep.
whole right.
Yep, the federal guidelines. The
Okay.
same thing with Telegram. Telegram,
Yeah.
right now, you can't. I'm just putting this out there. Any person that's trying to promote their weed on Telegram,
Yeah. Yeah. They're going after all that shit. So
yo, the one page that I follow, I'm not gonna mention their name, but like, yo, this is like their sixth time signing up for Telegram, and they're sending me like
that
the
that that
notification.
that that, that platform that I don't trust. Cash App,
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust. All
Mm-hmm.
these those type of apps I don't trust. Maybe PayPal because it's international. Anything what's not international I don't trust. But what I'm saying with the federal government, if they put
Yeah,
it on a platform that you can't do something, that means the FBI has some type of access to the internet,
of course, of course,
right?
of
If
course.
you're
Well, like
bullying or
they have that. They came out. Well, I know in Canada now they have that technology on your phone,
mm,
right? Where the Bridem can watch
yeah,
you. You can watch you live. Like what you're doing
mm,
live, they can watch you, and,
yeah.
and and you're messaging live and everything.
Yeah.
They have the right if you don't know how to turn it on,
So
right?
we you know what, we seen things even doing our platform. We seen things when we used to use the Instagram and shit, like how they're watching. We actually witnessed that shit. Even remember our voice speeding up and shit too on the
Yeah, of
Instagram, how
course,
they're playing with our voice and
and
shit.
changing and
Yeah, you
changing
remember
and
that?
shit. I remember that clearly, fam.
Yeah.
Yo,
So they watch what you do. So what I'm saying, like with the with Adam's show, you're saying hip hop police, right?
hmm
This is what I'm saying now, and you know this. When you go on a podcast, it's either you're gonna name it a criminal for criminal activity, that will be the theme, or if it's supposed to be part of the culture, hip hop, you should
Yeah,
be interviewing people about their music, right? So
yeah,
when you
like
come on,
a lot of these podcasts get too into deep into their background. You
mm,
know what I mean?
yeah,
Like they ask stupid fucking questions. Like why you answer trying to ask me that question for? You trying to
then
make me get indicted?
well, they want more than just music. That's it's more than music. That's not really a
I don't
music.
blame. I don't blame. What's that guy that fucking pulled the thing out on Adam 22 on the podcast?
Oh, I
Um,
almost wanted to
yeah,
fight
I'm
him.
a fan. Yeah,
I forgot
like
his
come
name.
on,
Yeah,
like
because he
you're
asked him
asking
certain
stupid
questions.
questions, bro. You're asking stupid questions that you
Yeah.
should not be answering, and then
Yo,
you
this
get
one's
all
good.
these
What he
little
said,
guys.
Big Chill. Police love Adam, and he's doing their work. Whack too. Still, yeah,
Of
we know
course,
that. Yo, it's common sense, yo.
Mac is a big goof, bro.
But yo, trust me, no. If you're gonna go on live, right, and you can't just
Mm,
blame Whack and Adam. If you're the one talking, and you're not wise enough to know that they're trying to make you talk more about that shit instead of business, yo, they're setting you up.
of
They're
course.
setting you up. Some man them I seen one, two guys come on Adam show and just say nothing. He asks the question, they don't even answer.
Yeah, they actually know.
Yes, that's
You get dead
smart.
faces like,
One of the
what?
smartest persons,
Like,
people to do that.
what? No. Next question.
Yes, that's what you. A lot of people ain't media trained, and he's
But
feeding
yo,
off of it. He loves it, man.
a lot of them are trying to become a news anchor. You know, if you
Yeah,
really
that's not a news
listen to
anchor,
the
man.
question, you know what I mean?
It's not a news anchor, man. And you know what? People like negativity. You know that they like
You
the
know,
negativity. But the thing what we seen and I don't like is that how they wheel these guys in and how the guys are not. I don't know, straight up, not wise enough to know that it's a setup.
but all these because they aim for the young guys. Aim for these young guys that don't know no better, right?
Mm,
And all they're doing is they're all messed up on God knows what. You know
mm.
what I mean? What drugs? Remember that
Yeah,
half of those
because
people do
Brick
lean.
Baby, I hear that man takes a lot of drugs. He even came out said it. He mentioned he takes a lot of drugs.
Yeah,
He
like
mentioned he takes a
a
lot of
lot of
drugs.
safe people drink that lean, and you know what I mean.
Yeah,
They don't remember shit the next day,
no
bro.
control. I never touched
No,
that shit, but I could imagine if you've been drinking lean all the time, you're taking whatever
not
pills, you and smoking weed. Phew. He says, Big Chill says top five do the same thing too. Still pure heat scores. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah, of
Oh
course.
yeah. I done a couple episodes talking about
Yeah,
individuals like him, even in Toronto. Like if you're going on Instagram, like this is the dumb thing. I think people have an illusion. You could go online and just threaten people. Like what world are you living in to think just because it's virtual that the police ain't coming for you? I seen police come for people for the I heard of it for the internet shit. You gonna
yo,
threaten online?
and I think it was in Brampton or Mississauga. They went to a school. The man branded the thing on Snapchat,
Mm.
and the white them came right into the classroom and dragged them out.
Yeah, and I like what he said. True man don't talk next
Of
man's business.
course.
Yeah, like I don't know, man. Like that's why I feel Toronto, especially our scene, is stuck
Mm,
because we have this, and we're not even developed like LA and those places because we have like an Adam 22 energy, no jumper energy, what people love in the six. Like some of these platforms, all they promote is pure
exactly. That's what I was
sh-
just about to say.
shit.
It doesn't help when these guys are promoting their beefs and you know what I mean and all their
Yeah,
fuckery that's going on in the
yeah.
city. Like,
Most of the pages, put
you
it this way, let's put out a gem here because you know this stoner. If a lot of these pages was pumping at least five of these underground artists. I'm not talking about these guys you never heard of, people who are
mm,
actually active and performing. You see them have, something promotion going on, something little. If they were to pump the same energy into those type of like the artists posting how they post all this beef, people would be
of
bigger. People would
course.
actually get more traction if all these so-called Toronto
Like no
pages, what?
one, yo, I look into the comments on like everything that pretty much anything that comes along the page, because you know how it is. All those pages post the same shit
Yes, same
over
shit.
and over and over. So I read the comments.
Nothing different. Yep.
People don't care what this guy's doing or this guy's doing.
Yeah.
Okay, they care about if they're dropping music. Yeah,
Yeah, that would be
don't care
more
about, oh,
entertaining.
they're
Drop some
running up
music.
on this block and doing stupid shit, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Who
Yeah.
cares?
That'd be more entertaining if it was they're dropping some music more. It's always music more than just this talk.
Exactly.
I'm seeing some unknowns. They're saying this person has beef with this person. I'm like, who are these? They're not even in the market, in the American market. You're not even Canadian wide. They're not even Canadian wide, and they're trying to do beef before their career. They're trying to, like, you're sabotaging yourself, right?
Yeah.
But other than that, yo, I don't know
I
if
wanna I wanna mention something. Yeah,
what
that
go on.
the big news in the city. That restless that young kid's soul. You know what I mean? That
Mm,
passed away. You know what I mean? I want to say something about that because honestly,
mm,
it's foolish what he did. You know, I'd rather take the year and a half, jail time
mm.
than lose my life. You know what I mean?
What's the story? What happened?
So the cop that killed the youth,
Oh, in the car.
Baptist and Shepherd,
You
yes.
know what?
God,
I
rest
heard
in
of it.
peace.
Rest in
Rest in
peace,
peace.
whatever. I heard of it, and there's more people in the car. There was
Hmm.
more people
I
in the
seen the
car.
video. I seen the video.
But this
I
is what
seen the
I
video.
heard. Correct me if I'm wrong. I heard he had a weapon.
Bro, he shot the cop.
Okay, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Rest in
I'm a
peace.
good
But
age to
yo,
know. You
this is
cannot.
where okay, let me put it this way.
No.
He was probably on something.
Yeah,
Because remember, drugs make your mind go
yeah, we
sideways.
know that. But I'm thinking you got to put. Some people don't put their shoes in the other side. I start doing that more. If you're a police, you know, and you have an ID, you seen a gun, like you always hear about, you might have to deal with this,
No,
and he
but
never
he
dealt
didn't
with it.
see it at first. He didn't see it. Because what happened was the girl came out of the
Mm,
car, right? And my boy came and he peeked over and
mm.
seen, and then he wheeled it out on him and popped him.
So he
And
never
then
took out nothing for him to see.
no, he wheeled it out and shot him.
No, I said the kid. He didn't take out nothing.
Yeah, he took out the gun.
That's why you
He
can't do
took out
that,
the gun
man.
and shot him straight.
You can't do that. You can't take out nothing. I
Yo,
heard
that
you said
airport shit I heard about today in the morning.
what
Yo,
happened.
I don't really personally know about that, but like, yo, that's some crazy shit.
What
Like
happened
the
at the
radar, the
airport.
man was distressed. I guess he was they came to the airport for a distress call,
Mm,
right? And the man apparently, I guess, had something on him, or he wanted to kill himself or something shit like that.
mm,
And I guess he tried to go for the white him and white
mm.
him right them, but God,
Mental
you
illness.
know
They gotta have some type of uh
exactly. You put it
diff-
put it right there, bro. You put it right there because I get it. The city is full of mental illness
you
people.
need
Everybody
certain
has
type of weight,
any
like officers who know or train in that.
everybody, even if you're a civilian, a gangster, you
Mm.
know what I mean? Everybody has a mental illness. I'm telling you that.
Yes, yes.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
But you see, this is
Postpartum,
what it
some
is,
kind of
yo.
shit.
I'm gonna say this. If you take out a weapon on an officer, because that's his job, and
Hmm.
he's thinking me or you, this is just human nature. Forget the police business.
Oh yeah,
If you have a weapon and you have an idea of someone taking out a weapon, you're gonna react fast before they do
of
you.
course.
And that's what
And you know
that's
what
what the
though?
cop
You know what?
done.
That bit okay. I I I, I
Mad guns in the
disagree
city,
on
yeah.
the I disagree with the cops
Mm,
on one thing though. Okay, you shot the cop that got shot. When he shot back, he shot the kid, right? The other cop that was in front, you know what I mean? He was shooting, right? But
mm.
yo, bro, the man licked off a couple extra shots at the end. That's what I didn't like about what they did.
Yeah, you
I
shouldn't
don't
have
like
not done
police
that.
period, but
Yeah.
like you just did that wrong. Like you
But
just
they know they
okay,
could get
yeah,
away
now
with it
finish him,
because of their police, right?
right?
That's what it is.
Remember,
He says,
two
"Yo,
of my
mad guns in the city." This is funny. I'm gonna
two of
get
my
to this.
brethren died from police. You know what I mean? Died from police.
If
You know what I mean?
some
God
it's
rest his
just, a
soul.
lot of the cases it's wrong what the police do, But then there's some cases that I hear when I see it, you cannot take no weapon up against no policeman. Soon as you do that, I'm sorry, man. You put yourself in. They're gonna.
But yo,
You don't have a
I'm gonna tell you
legalized
this
gun,
though. I'm gonna
huh?
tell you this though. I'm gonna tell you this though.
Yeah.
Right? Whoever leaked that video,
Mm.
right? That body cam footage, right?
Yes.
Fucked up, fucked up a case. Fucked
Yes.
up the police's case.
You're right.
Cause
You're right.
you can't. Why are you leaking that shit on social media for? You can't be
That's
doing
what.
that. That's a
That's
high
what could get you
profile
in
case.
trouble too. In well, other situations could get you in
No,
trouble.
I'm if if the family wants to go pursue
They
on
could. The only
lawsuit and
problem
shit,
is he
charges
will
and
be
shit.
charged with gun possession. All this gun charges will go against him. He's not gonna listen. I seen how the system. As long as you don't have something legal, no
He's a
matter
young
what
offender,
we
bro.
say,
He's getting out
you're
in a
not
year and a
supposed to have
half,
no
bro.
gun. You're gonna get. They're not taking that their side. They're gonna say why you have a gun, and they're gonna trace it not just for that situation. Did you
Yeah, they're
use the
gonna
gun?
slap anything on it. They're gonna slap anything that's on it. They're gonna
Yeah,
slap it
they're gonna
with
say,
it.
did you use this gun before?
Mm-hmm.
Even if you didn't use it and someone else used it, it's attached to
Mm-hmm.
you. So just the gun thing is like you can't have it. Sorry, man. You can't. You're not. This is not America. You can't have it.
Mm-hmm.
Just for walking with it, they could lock you up. Just
Of
for
course.
walking, they'll catch you. So you're gonna use that on an officer? No, man. That
Yeah.
you're asking to die
How about
almost.
them Leafs? How about the Maple Leafs? Eh?
Yeah, the Maple Leafs won 2 games, right?
Yep. Game 3 tonight,
Hopefully they
bro.
don't choke. The
They
people
won't
in the
choke.
car with the dead 16-year-old are getting charged too. See, you hear that?
Yeah, of course.
Toronto Wicked. They're getting charged because I don't know why they're getting charged.
The
That's crazy.
the weapon doesn't
They
matter.
had more weapons,
Who knows? Remember, now they're keeping this case. They're getting
but
charged. They're
I'm
getting
gonna give
charged.
people this. You see, if that Polivier comes in power,
Mhm.
it's over. There's no second chances. They're gonna plan to lock people up for a long time. You see, like when someone does a violent crime and they go for a little bit and come out, like that in and out business. That will be if that guy becomes prime minister, that's done.
Who?
People are getting
What?
life
What guy?
style type of things. The
What
prime
guy?
minister, the
Which prime minister?
Polivier in the elections. If he
Okay,
beats,
okay.
if he wins, he's
Mm-hmm.
changing the whole law,
Legal
whatever that
system.
whole law system.
Legal
And soon
system.
as he wants to do a three strike type of style,
Oh fuck.
three strike.
Yeah.
So you know what,
Yeah.
you guys better be. You're gonna have to behave yourself.
Man in the States are in jail right now doing life for a fucking chocolate bar, bro.
Yes, yes,
Come on, that's fucked,
yes.
bro. 25 years, bro.
But
For a
I'm gonna
chocolate
get
bar,
back to
bro.
this. If you down
Anyway,
here in the lot, look, the police shoot people over a knife.
rest in
Over a
peace,
knife.
Sammy. Rest in peace, Sammy.
I could tell you a story which the police is completely guilty. I witnessed, right? I won't say exactly where it is, but I witnessed that someone, no, I didn't witness. I heard this story. Someone called the police saying there's a disturbance in their apartment, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the police came to this apartment where this guy was with his children. I think his children were there.
Mm-hmm.
They end up shooting the man, killing him.
Oh shit.
This is a story, right? This
Mm-hmm.
is a story near me. I'm just saying that, right? I don't want to
Oh,
say exactly, right?
I think I heard
But
about this.
the cops called, done the call, and they said they made it look like the guy who's deceased that he had the weapon and he
Mm-hmm.
used it, but
Oh
really
fuck.
it was them. The police basically lied because they made a
Wow.
mistake, knocking the wrong door or so, and happy gun and they just shot the guy, killed him, completely innocent, no
Yeah.
record, nothing. They just knocked the door like they're knocking your door because someone called the cops saying someone was
This would
walking
be a
around doing
regular
all type of shit.
disturbance.
Killed them. In
Yes.
the 80s, cops used to
Yo, is it
smoking
the
weed in the
80s
park.
cops that shoot
Yeah,
us?
that's why
For smoking weed?
sometimes
Of
I have a.
course, Sam. Of
That's why
course.
I have a good I kind of
Yo,
shaky with the relationship with the legalization because especially a lot of people got
free up
locked up
my
for it.
boy there. Free up my boy there. That murdered the cops. I'm not gonna lie. Free him up.
Yeah, a lot of
Bro.
people got locked up for this shit, right?
My uncle, free up my fucking uncle too. The one in the fucking in part though.
Yeah.
Back in the day, yeah, that was my uncle G. And
So,
the rest
like I'm
of them,
saying, a
yeah, man.
lot of people got locked up for the cannabis shit, right? And now you see the corporations benefit. It's not the grassroots people benefiting; it's the corporations, and that's why I have a problem with it. And especially they used to use that as an excuse to target a lot of black men who they knew like to smoke
Yeah, of
cannabis. That was
course,
an
of
excuse.
course.
That's an excuse to pull people to stop you,
Yeah,
but
that
it
was the
was
number
not
one
really the
thing.
weed, huh?
That was yeah, that was the number one excuse.
They used
Oh
to
yeah,
use that as an
we smell
excuse to
weed. We
cover up
smell weed. Oh,
discrimination, huh?
we smell weed. Get up against the wall.
Yeah, so that would be an excuse to cover up the discrimination. I mean, if they wanted to say no, it's not because you are this, it's because we smell the weed. But that's what I'm saying. Right
Yeah, that
now, the corporations are making benefiting the most, and there's a whole bunch of people who've been locked up for it. That's why I kind of like
of course.
shaky with the support.
I
Shaky with
mean, personally, with the government, we with this, I nah, bro. Like, there's a 1-2. You know, that's alright. You know what I mean? But otherwise, nah, G. I don't like. I'd rather go back to the corner man on the corner that have the same kind of fucking type of weed and support his ass. You know what I mean? Pause. But like,
that's
mhm,
true. That's facts. But man, with the police stuff, that's the like I'm saying, it's controversial. Like these shoot, like things happen every day in Toronto. Like I mentioned to even some of our American people, they don't know the real Toronto. They think Toronto's Drake and Tory and all this stuff.
there's a
What they
lot of
see on,
Toronto has a lot of history of if you want to put it in crime, a lot of history,
yeah,
right? Like
oh yeah,
historical, like that still pop up to this day if you pull it up on Google. You
yeah.
know what I mean? So
Canada,
like,
period, has a lot of history when it
right?
comes
So,
to
yeah,
that
in
gangster
Canada too,
business.
but
People think it's yo go to Montreal. Yo, I seen something on Montreal. Tons of big things going down there, boy. Big
when the
gangster city.
when the era of the bikers,
Mm,
right? Remember, HAs were nationwide,
yeah,
okay?
yeah,
But all their main chapters were mostly here
yeah.
in California, like not Toronto, Vancouver, but like in LA.
But now it's Montreal,
Now it's Montreal, and then they
Montreal,
migrated into Montreal.
and now but now it's global now. I
No,
mean,
but
I
that's
watched the
what I'm saying.
documentary.
Not
It's worldwide.
nationwide, worldwide. You know what
It's
I mean?
worldwide.
But like,
The
look at
head
that.
is in Montreal. The heads are in Montreal in Canada now. All of
No, they're
Canada.
in Canada and LA. LA's a big. They have big chapters
Yeah,
of the
but
HAs.
the guys who are running the money, the big dogs who are running
Mm,
them, is up here now. That's what I
mm.
see, man. Look up a good podcast called the Original Gangster Podcast.
I know,
Look
I
that
got
up.
you. I
You
know,
you watch that?
oh, okay,
Okay.
okay.
That one you find out a lot of stuff people don't even know, and
Mm,
a lot of the organized crime are working with black gangs now down there. Black. A lot
yeah.
of their captains or guys who are doing the work for them,
Mm,
they got these black French guys working the streets for them. It's not even the mafia,
mm.
or the Hells guys doing it. They got some other level guys doing their shit now. A lot of people
Yo,
don't know that.
In Montreal, bro, they have the Haitians.
Yep,
You know what I mean? They have a lot of they have a
different
Italian
groups.
mobs. They have
Yeah,
different yeah cliques, man. Yeah, I lived in Montreal, and why one thing I can say is if you don't know French, you're fucked.
I
You're
agree.
fucked. No, you're fucked. Like you're fucked.
Yeah, I went to
Like,
Montreal. I didn't
you'll
like
get
it too
ripped
much
off
because
at
it's like you could
McDonald's,
tell.
bro. You get ripped off at McDonald's, bro. They'll try you. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I could tell they don't like English speaking too much down there. But
No, bro.
yo, what if
What
I was
else?
to ask
What
you?
else? Um, huh?
If I was to ask you, what's the latest hip hop the like content you're listening to, like music? What's the best shit out there now? What's
right now, what I'm feeling is the Wiz Khalifa
I gotta check
album,
that out.
Christian OGA, two. 15 years, bro. This is a long
He been around like
anticipated
Drake
album.
and and Kendrick. He's been in the game that long, about the same time.
No, but like the album itself,
Mm.
it's this is part two, right? So
Yeah,
like it's supposed to
pushing
be
orange
part two was
juice.
supposed to come out a long time ago, but it got hold back,
That's why he's
right?
doing that media run. You see him doing a lot of
Yeah,
interviews with.
he's doing tour. He's doing a tour.
He's smart.
Um, you know who else? Merciless's albums are right.
Who?
Merciless dropped the
Uh,
album.
man, when I heard my brother tell me about his performance, I was like, I trust
I
my
know,
brother,
I know,
man.
I know, I know, I know, I know.
Saying, yeah,
Yeah, I
he
know.
can't
But his
perform good.
album, I gotta say his album's banging. Millie's dropped one. Millie's dropped the album. Right, I took in half of that. So I didn't really, I didn't really like it. Tell you the truth, I didn't really like it. His one of his best albums. This is part seven. So one of his best albums were like five and six, and yeah, five and six were his best albums in that trilogy right now. Right, but this album, I don't know. He rushed it or something, bro. Um,
No, no, no.
who else?
You said Merciless is sick. I heard Merciless, yeah, freestyling online, but my brother saw him live, guy. And my brother
Mhm.
goes to a lot of shows. You know, Rastafari Samurai go to
Oh,
shows,
I
and
know.
with hip hop,
I
I could
sometimes
I
usually
could
I see
trust
him there.
his judgment out of anybody. And when he said the performance, I guess he ran out of breath. You know, one thing when you do perform on stage and you do
Mhm,
songs, people think it's
mhm.
just easy. No, man, you will lose your breath, and if you're out of shape, it could affect your performance, yo. And I'll be straight up, man. Mercules is not in shape. Sorry, man.
Of
He's
course,
not in
okay.
shape. And my brother said he was like pausing throughout the whole show. Half of it he was talking.
Yeah, and he was mostly drunk, probably.
Probably it must have been that. But yo, respect to Mercules. I know he could freestyle and do all types of things. He's on death row too with Snoop.
Yeah. Um.
Must have been a
Yeah.
bad night.
RJ Payne's album came out.
Who?
That's another RJ Payne.
Oh, I never heard of him. RJ Payne.
You ain't never heard of RJ Payne?
No, 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 no.
Whoa.
Never heard of him. But
Nems' album came out. That's fire. Never heard of Nems?
hmm?
You
Who?
never heard of Gorilla Nems? Fuck your life.
No, maybe I could have, but no
Yo.
one's sticking out, man. Not sticking out right now.
Oh man. Oh man. You don't know what you're missing, bro.
And I mean,
Like
the most I've
these are
been
the
listening
artists
to
that
the
are
newest
coming up
shit
right
is
now.
the only camp I've been listening to is friggin' Machine Gun Conway the Machine and them
Oh,
guys. That's the only hip hop, the newest thing what I've been really always taking in, and
Griselda.
the vets, some of the vets, and Wiz Khalifa.
Griselda's consistent, bro. Like they're always consistent. Like every month they're dropping out albums.
Mm.
Right? I think West Side Gun just dropped an album just
Yeah,
recently
I
too.
think so. Snipes, I don't know who Snipes is, but
Him and Snipes in the studio still. Oh Frankie. Oh yeah. Of course.
are you talking about Frankie?
Snipe Dog. Yeah, Snipe Dog. Yeah, he's talking about Frankie and Snipes. Yeah, of course.
Our Frankie?
Yeah.
Oh, so he knows
Snipes.
Frankie
I
then.
talk to Snipes
Oh,
every day, man.
that's fam, yo.
So
Making you know that Big Chill. That is fam. You see?
yeah,
Who you
dude.
talking to? These two individuals and my brother. That
Yeah.
is Frankie Payne, fam. Yeah, man.
That's my
Juggernaut.
triple, a motherfucking triple OG.
Hmm. Family is that, yo. Trust me. Respect. But yo,
Mm-hmm.
what's next for a Storm of P? Yo, what's next? You still doing the merch?
Mm-hmm. I'm still look, wow. Yep. Oh,
Small
oh,
world,
maybe a
Big
bit.
Chill. Small world. You see? He
I'm
knows
still
who
doing the
D2
merch.
is.
Um, I got a few things that I'm working on, but you know what I mean. Like my main grind has to focus first. You know what I mean. I just got off work just not too long ago.
All
You know
right.
what I mean. So, but otherwise than that, I'm trying to work for the summer. I'm trying to do a couple of things for the weed community, and you know what I mean. Hopefully, we could create a ball tournament. You know what I
Yeah,
mean.
we're gonna do that. We're gonna do
I
that.
want I want to do a ball tournament. So all y'all weed motherfuckers out there that think you can ball and got some skills,
Come out. We're gonna set it up.
forward, forward out. No, I'm real shit.
No, we're gonna do it.
It's chill, real shit, bro.
Mm.
Chill. Is that's our chill, right?
No, it's Big Chill. Big Chill.
Big
That's not
chill.
our chill.
Oh.
But
Yeah,
yo,
'cause it's,
anyways, yo, I'm gonna be
yeah,
off of this. People subscribe, follow Stoner P, right?
yeah.
And me,
I'm
Down to
working
Earth
on some new
Network.
music, by the way. I
Hmm?
have some new music forwarding too. So
All right, yo,
okay,
we want to hear
okay.
that, yo, from Stoner P. Oh, you're from
Yeah, man.
Chicheway. All right. So you know probably knows fams,
Oh,
yo. Big Chill knows more fams probably.
okay.
Chi-
Yo, you probably know me, fam. You know me, fam. I know you probably.
All right, yo.
You know, we're from, yeah.
Bless, yo. I'm out.
Yo,
D2E. Subscribe.
ball up, stay high, subscribe. Don't be a fucking,
All right.
you
Bless.
know the rest. Later.
All right.
Bye.